Welcome to
the Peeew.
The Peeew. Where we were just, it's very hot and humid out. We were just...
Right, it's the summer in the city edition.
And we were very concerned. Very concerned. Big problem. I thought my face looked shiny.
And which is not, it's certainly not as shiny as my face because I'm sweating a lot more.
Well, that's because Ernie is a Mexican and they have shiny faces. But you know what?
Why? Because we're greasers?
Yes, but greasy. Greaser is like the 50s thing. But he will have the last laugh because you'll look younger longer because of all that grease.
I already do.
You're also older than I am, so we won't know that until I am 61.
I'm only 4 years older than you.
That's a long time in Club Kid years. So what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about your 3-year anniversary from prison. No, thank you.
Bottle pop is my new favorite candy.
What is it?
It's like pixie stick, but in a bottle, so you don't have to. It's those tiny little things. You can fill your whole mouth up with it.
Right.
So
I used to like
extreme pixie sticks.
I used to like pixie sticks.
Well, they still have them for like the older people.
Right. I mean, but you're right. They're these little tiny straws, so when you rip it off, you can't really get all the powder all at once. That you could just dump it in. It'll
flood your mouth with set your taste buds. Okay.
It's very 2017, like who has time for the little skinny pixie sticks? We just need a big tub of
that's baby
sour powder.
Bottle pop by the
why is it called baby bottle pop?
By the produced with genetic engineering.
Why do they call it baby bottle pop?
Because it comes with this. And when you're done, you can eat the thing. Just like the lick'em sticks, I throw this part away because it's boring.
It's a rave toy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not... Okay has never been good enough for me. I need something with oomph. This has oomph. Now, you're supposed to dip that in there. And then
how is it?
Well, you get the oomph with the plant. So I just want the oomph. Okay. And that's a typically American thing.
Well, that's been our problem over the years.
Well, but you know what? We are a product of American civilization then because that is the American way. You find out what works best, and then you do all of that. Like, we had with the Munsters, we talked about this, how Marilyn Munster was the sexy one. So all the guys were tuning in to see her, and they're like, if one Marilyn Munster is a hit, we'll have a whole show of Marilyn Munster, and then you get like Friends or whatever, like all these beautiful people.
Which was a big hit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
Was it a problem?
Yeah, because it encourages blandness.
Well, yeah. Well, our society has been bland for decades.
Getting blandier.
We've been fighting that. Our whole career has been based on fighting the bland.
The losing battle.
Yeah, it's a losing battle.
But
in fact, one might argue that we've lost.
But you know what? We will go down with the ship, and we will go down in history as the
you
last.
Have gone down with the ship.
Yeah,
17 years.
Yes. Well, like I said, we will go down with the ship. So, and we will be remembered as the people who tried to keep this from happening. We were the canary in the coal mine, saying, penny, 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 the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Nobody listened. And now
it fell.
Now look what happened.
Yep, we're drowning in bland.
God of you! No, not you.
No, we're not assigning blame.
No, you, if you're watching the show, are part of the army of people, the Skroddle Squad, we could say, that's trying to fight this.
Are we?
Well, I am, in our own way.
It's more like passive resistance.
Which is by doing nothing.
I would say it's more like passive resistance.
By being ourselves, we're fighting that.
Yes, being our queer radical selves.
Which, scarily, and here's a mindfuck for you, has become normal. So,
especially in Brooklyn.
That's like a real mindfuck, right?
Well, I mean, it's just everything becomes mainstream.
It's one of those be careful what you wish for things. Be careful what you wish for, viewers. But you will wish that we will come back after this commercial, and we will.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the Peeew.
Ernie thought I went off on a tangent.
Not the first time.
Yes, but we've discussed that if tangents are good tangents, that we will allow them to go on. And I thought that was a good tangent. Ernie thought it was an okay tangent.
I like tangents.
I'd like you to rate that tangent.
I like tangents.
Rate that tangent!
I'm not going to turn my nose up at a good tangent.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so what we were really going to talk about today was...
Your 3-year anniversary out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
And what you think of it. What you've accomplished. What you've done. What you haven't done.
I have to tell you, the day came and went, and I never even noticed. Which is a good sign.
Yeah, that is.
Because it shows
that you're busy.
Well, and that I'm not like... It's probably a good PTSD that I don't have things, kind of. Because I think I do have PTSD in some ways. But, especially from all that, the solitary time. But, we made a list because we're old. He's really old, and I'm just kind of old. And we have forgetful memories. So,
it's only been 3 years. I don't know why you need a list.
You know what? I'm going to put the list right over here where I can't see it.
I mean, what's wrong with your memory if you're so freaking
I just
young?
told him what's wrong with it.
PTSD?
Okay. Well, the first thing, obviously, was the Peeew. This is something that... What? Okay.
Pardon that interruption.
Yes. The first thing is the Peeew, which is obviously, I've noticed that the viewership has gone up dramatically, and we have
Who would have thunk that?
And we have about 20 people who are telling us how to make it go up even more dramatically. But we are so dramatically busy that we haven't contacted them yet. But we will.
Right. Although we do want you to subscribe, so click that button.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Click that button. That's one thing everybody tells us. Tell them to click the button. Tell them to click the button. We don't normally do that because we don't like to shill things.
Right. So
obviously.
back from that tangent to your list.
Okay. So, Outrage, obviously, the most successful Monday night party New York has seen in a decade. I've completed not a lot of paintings, but 12 paintings, and they all sold. They were all commissioned, so that's a good thing. I'm not looking at those right now. I've had the art exhibit, which was in 3 places, and then I've got another art exhibit on August 11th at Lethal Amounts in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, Ernie's going to be part of that one. They're going to put his clothing on mannequins, and Kyoko's going to play music, and we're going to have Mike Hammond, the new artist, have a show of some of his stuff. Then, I can't remember. Oh, Alig Mart, of course, my thriving online store. What did I say?
The list is scrawled on a
What did I
letter.
say? Succumbing.
Isn't it Skroddle Squad? Or...
I thought it said succumbing to my own self-esteem. I don't know what it said. Okay. What? You were there when I read it? Wrote it? Alright.
You're fussy?
It says, I don't know what it says. Oh, I'm running Alig Mart. And I'm fussy.
See, I told him to just type it out on the computer.
2 years of what?
But he felt that he
What's
needed
this
to
one?
write it
2
down
years of what?
on some
We
crumpled
wrote this
envelope.
we
that he
wrote this
picked up
5 minutes
off the
ago.
Floor.
From Chase Bank that I had to wrote. What does it say? 2 years what? We wrote this 5 minutes ago.
I don't know.
You weren't even listening.
You worked for Gay Times for 2
yeah.
years.
I've had a column in Gay Times magazine for 2 years. I wrote for the New York Post. Filmed Party Monster 2. Filmed and released Glory Days. And Skroddle Squad. And if we could only figure out what that one is, then there's one more thing. But I can't see what it is.
What do you wish that you could have done in those 3 years that you still haven't done?
Read my list of things that I could have done. Because it says, successfully... I don't know. All right, there's one more thing. Very important.
Successfully sold out.
Very important thing. What do I wish I could have done?
Yeah.
Could do or did?
I mean, what do you wish you could
I
have
wish my biggest, I won't say regret because it's going to happen, but the things that I wanted to have happened most were at least one of the books and Skroddleface. And Skroddleface is tied up in all kinds of awful not exactly legal, but semi-quasi-legal battles, sort of like Project X was in the end, where Rudolph said he owned it, and Peter said he owned it, and Julie said she owned it, and, it would just throw out, couldn't do it. So it's kind of a situation like that, and I may have to change the name, which I don't want to. I mean, right? It's a good name.
It's a good name, but I mean, if it's a question of just changing a name so that you can move forward.
I mean, Skroddlehead, would that be a good?
I don't know. Just come up with
something
other
like
name.
that. Yeah,
I mean,
or just
you're good at coming up with names.
Oh, I know. So, I've come up with a few choice ones for you. So that's kind of what's keeping it right now, and then my books, and my agent has all but disowned me. My agent is, Amanda's agent, and we talked about my book before he even thought of Amanda's book, and Amanda's book is out already.
Which I've been reading, and it's really good. I'm at the part where she got married to this guy whose family helped her get the sex change, and then he starts beating her. Mm-hmm. So she has to leave him. So it's
even though he paid for her sex change.
It's a really good page turner.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine her story would be.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't exactly correspond to the stories that I remember her telling us.
Well, I mean, of
like
course, if
25 years ago or 30 years ago.
The issue of Project X from 25 years ago. I think you'll read some of the same things that we had 25 years before everybody else.
Did we? Because I seem to remember that there was some plastic surgeon that adopted her, or that she lived with a plastic surgeon and he did all her plastic surgery.
That was Kenny Valente. He just looks like he's got to a plastic surgeon. But like Corey, hey, with the frog. No, she lived with this guy, and then she moved in with Kenny Valente and was stripping for a while.
Right, I'm not to that part of the book yet. She's about to leave the guy to go live with Kenny Valente, I believe.
Right, a good friend of ours.
What? Is he a good friend of yours?
He is of mine. I mean,
okay.
I'm not jealous of him that he has a club of mine. I don't.
I wouldn't say we're good. I'm good friends with him. I just feel like I kind of casually know him from the club scene. I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want to look at somebody's face for successful. Kenny Valente is very successful in clothing store and vintage and all that. And that's kind of other people's dreams,
See you next time.